Hi, I'm Ash Beatson and welcome to episode 9 of Comparing Bookkeeping Software. In this particular episode, I'm going to concentrate on looking at what different analysis types are available in the products. And what I mean by that are how can we break down our reporting? So getting the data in is one thing, but how are we able to report against that? So obviously the most common one is your general ledger, nominal accounts, chart of accounts, however you like to refer to them. That's going to be available in every single one. But then going a step further, can we report against a project, a cost center, a department, tracking categories? Again, how do you might refer to them slightly differently in each of the options we take a look at. So to begin with, we'll see what is available in each product. So this should be a little bit of a shorter video. And then in the next video, we're going to start looking at these sections in a little bit more detail. So let's start off with looking at what we've got in Sage. So I've logged into Sage and I've gone into the business settings area. And from there, I can see that I have the chart of accounts available, so I'm not going to go in there in this particular video. And then I've also got analysis types. So when I select analysis types, what you'll see here are the different options that are available to us. So I've got cost center, department and project are these sort of different ways in which I can break down a transaction as it's entered. And also below that, you've got the ability of sort of grouping some of your things that you analyze. For example, customers, you've got a way of grouping them together further. And I've not looked at those in a lot of detail yet, but apart from when I created one of these groups, I'm able to actually then assign that group to a customer. And again, I'm going to look at that in more detail in a later video. But you'll see here, so I've actually enabled project, and that's why it's in the white, and these other two are greyed out at the moment because I've not edited them. So I can choose to edit a project, and from here I've got the option then either leaving project as the main title of this type, and also where can I use it when I create an entry. And this works the same whether it's a cost center or a department as well. So you can see that I can use them against banks, journals, purchase sales invoices, and then as well as giving my sort of project a title, the categories that fall within that, which I'm calling a project, but you could call it anything you wanted really. So 1, 2 and 3 and project 1, 2 and 3. So that means that when I do create entries, I can use those. And again, I'm not going to go into any more detail than that at the moment. I just want you to sort of see what is available from here. Now, assigning them on a transaction is pretty straightforward. So that's Sage. Let's take a look next at Zoho Books. So with my Zoho file open, if I go to the left menu within Accountant, you've got your chart of account categories. Again, we're going to look into those in further detail in the next video. Within time tracking, you can create projects and record income and expenditure against a project. And in addition to those, if I just go into my settings, within customization, you've got reporting tags. So you can create your own type of tag. So here I've literally called them something I'm familiar with: class, department, location, and again project. And then you can create your types within the tag. And if I actually go to edit one of those, you can see that I've created within location Cambridge, London, Manchester, and I can add another option within there as well. And now that I have them set up, when I am recording my bookkeeping entries, I can assign that entry to one of those tags. Again, we'll look at that in a later video. All right, let's move on now to take a look at what we have in Free Agent. So logged into Free Agent, I've gone to my company settings, and it's from within the accounting, tax and VAT section. You've got the accounting categories, general ledger, nominal accounts, that you can edit quite easily within there. Again, episode 10, I'm looking at those in much more detail. If I want to actually break my costs and income down further than using an account category, then I can create projects from within the work area. So we've got projects, so as well as actually using a customer, you can create a project within there. And again, I think I'm going to be looking at projects in episode 11. So again, this one we're just looking at what's available. I've not yet seen, I don't think there is the ability of going against departments, class, locations, tracking categories here at the moment. Again, if I've missed anything, let me know and I'll come back and take a look at this again. So next off, let's look at what we have in Xero. So with my Xero file open, if I select accounting from the top here, I've got chart of accounts, so I can access my chart of accounts from within there. Again, we're looking at those in more detail in the next video. And also within accounting, I've got tracking categories. So your tracking categories, you can have up to 2 tracking categories. You can have more than that, but you've got to make one of them inactive basically. So if I try to add another tracking category, it tells me I've already used the maximum. I've got 2 there. Within each tracking category, you can have the category name, so the name within that sort of category, or the option, I should say, the option within your category. Now, here I've actually called my tracking category class and location. It would have been just called tracking category 1, tracking category 2, until you actually choose to rename it, and then those options within are how it breaks it down further when you're actually recording the entry. So when I'm recording my costs, it will be against particular tracking category and then the option within. Again, we'll look at how that's done in a later video. Now, in addition to obviously chart of accounts and your tracking categories, you do have projects. Now, as you'll see here, this is currently now in a trial one. Some of my files I'm actually currently subscribing to, but for this, it seemed that the price increase was quite substantial. So I'm not going to pay for that at the moment, and that all gets cancelled at some point. But it's projects, and I can actually create my projects from within there. Again, it's projects we'll be looking at in video number 11. So chart of accounts next, and then projects. We'll take a look at how we record the entries and then can report against them. So Xero, you've got your chart of accounts, you've got your tracking categories, and you've got your projects. So in QuickBooks Online now, from the left navigation, if I'm within transactions, then you can access your chart of accounts from there. It can also be accessed actually from your settings cog, your chart of accounts. So nominal accounts, general ledger, again, depends how you refer to them, but that's your chart of accounts, how it's referred to in QuickBooks. So now, in addition to that, you've got your classes and your locations. Now, this is a sample company, it's not the one I've subscribed to. Again, we need to increase our software subscription to use classes and locations. And what I will do is I'll at the end of this video, I'll look at what I'm currently paying on my sort of standard and what I'm getting for that, and what I need to, how much I need to increase my subscription to use some of these other features. But if you were subscribing to the Plus version of QuickBooks, then what you will have is, if I do come back into my settings under my lists, I've got all lists, and then I can come into, they've got locations within here, and I've also got classes. So if I open up a location, You can add your locations, and you can do something very similar in classes. Again, I'm going to go into those in more detail in a later video. What you also have within here, there are some tags, which is another way of actually just tagging an entry, but I'm under the understanding that actually tags have been removed from QuickBooks, I think. So I won't go into tags in any great detail. So now, in addition, so you've got your chart of accounts, you've got your classes and your locations. You've also got your projects. Now, projects I don't think is enabled here on my sample company. I'll just check the setting. If I come into accounts and settings, advanced maybe, there we go, projects is switched off. Let me just make sure the projects is switched on. So now, again, you do need the plus version for projects, and I'll close that down. But with projects enabled, then projects will appear down the left navigation, where you'll be able to create your projects, and when you're recording your income, your expenditure, you can assign it to a project. Again, we're going to be looking at that in more detail within video number 11. Okay, just a brief recap of what I've taken a look at. So for all of the different software providers, you've got your general ledger, your nominal account structure, accounts receivable, accounts payable. That's a given, really. Now with Sage, you've got departments, cost center, projects, and other grouping options in addition. Zoho, we've got multiple tagging options as well as projects. Free Agent, I've only seen the project there at the moment as the extra, unless I've just overlooked something. Xero, you've got up to 2 tracking category types. Now in the top section of my screen, these are sort of what I had sort of subscribed to, if you like, at the moment. So you can see that, you know, what the monthly charge is. So including the VAT there, I've got 36 for Sage, 24 for Zoho, nearly £23 for Free Agent, 19 for Xero, and what would be 33, nearly £34 a month for QuickBooks. Now I've got some offers at the moment, so I'm not paying all of that, because some of them are about 50% off for, you know, so many months. But that's what your standard monthly cost would be. Now with Xero, unless I've completely misread something, but I just looked at the documentation, and from what I'd seen, if I wanted to change my subscription to use a project, it looks like I need to have the ultimate subscription if I want to create a project, and that would move me up from being £19 a month including VAT to £70 a month. Now I'm not sure if that's right, or whether just something isn't been quite correctly worded in the subscription, but that seems like a heck of a jump if I just want to use the project feature. QuickBooks Online, if I want to use the project feature, or if I want to use class and locations, or both, I'd need to move up from Essentials to Plus, and that would be $45.60 a month including the VAT. So again, that's moving up sort of about, you know, £12 a month almost up on, you know, what I'm currently paying. So you have to bear these things in mind, factor them in. You know, how important is your, you know, different reporting types? Do you need to split it down in these different ways? And if you do, then, you know, these are sort of some of the costs that you need to sort of consider. All right, so in my next video, I'll be looking at just the chart of account categories, you know, your general ledger, you know, how they are put together in each of these different software types. So that'll be in video number 10. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this content useful. Thank you.